Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to start filming a little differently now. What I'm going to do is shorter form videos, like 5-10 minutes, cram a bunch of information in it, and I'll listen to your comments, see if you want more or ask me questions. I think that's probably better than just these really long form videos. So I wanted to get back to showing you the floor pan progress. Haven't done a great deal because I've been dealing with the 380 SL, trying to get that for sale or ready for sale. Unfortunately it didn't sell, but anyway, I'll probably wait till spring on that. But anyway, so I've been working on the driver's side. Some of you might have seen a couple of little short videos I shot, YouTube shorts, little catch up. Wanted to give you a little bit more detail, so let me get in close and I'll show you my progress. Now, as I mentioned on one of the short videos, first things first, once I took the floor pan off the driver's side, was to remove this cross beam which goes in here, and again that's just spot welded. You can see the state of this thing, it's been battered to hell, but what this does, the fuel lines sit here, fuel lines and return lines sit behind here, and then they dive over this section and then into the engine bay, so that serves as a kind of a fuel line protection. On other models, and I didn't realise this, I had a chat with someone else, some of them as a cross beam here in this area, and then the fuel lines dive behind that and then go up the centre tunnel. But anyway, so I took that out. That's going to need actually cutting and hammering back into shape, because I'll preserve that, but I'll restore that. So we'll save that. Much like the other side, it's a question of breaking the spots. I've been getting better at breaking the spots without blowing through. So these came out pretty good. I'm finding this drill, this basic spot weld drill, is better than those ones with the little springy thing on the end. It just seems to be a little bit more control. But anyway, this is just hacked off because this rocker really doesn't matter. And then here again, I'm breaking out. I've got to turn the car to get on the inside. But you've seen all that before. What I wanted to hone in on this repair, forget this mess for the moment. So this front inner rocker area, you can see got a bunch of rust here, and it starts to dive off, and then the metal gets pretty solid here. There's a couple of little tiny holes here which will have to be cut out, but essentially this inner rocker will be cut out and then a new section put in. But the way it's overlapped here with the front, you've got the floor foot pan here, where your foot would sit, the floor here, and then that bit here, and then this section is like a double walled section that comes in. The reason I cut that out, not only so I can get to this box section here, but see, if you look closely here, see that feathering? What someone had done before had put a patch in here like that, right? And all they've done, see that feathering? It's a telltale sign. They've tried to blend it and hide it under all the bitumen and stuff like that. And all they've done, look, they've just welded a piece of metal over a bit of rusty area there, and just saves them cutting it out. But that's why you don't want to do that, because that's just not doing anything, is it? Getting rid of the rust, it's just capturing it in a little area there. So I'm cutting all those things out, and plus I have to anyway, because I need to access this. And what I'm going to do is I'll bend some 16 gauge steel. This is like a 1/4 inch radius, so I can use the new jack-in points to make sure I get the radius correct. I'll leave this piece in situ so I get my line correct, because this is narrow here and then it widens. And what I'm thinking of doing is doing it in one section all the way down to this break point. I may break it here and then do another section here. I'm not going all the way into the car, because all this is really good metal up here. All I'm doing is essentially the floor of this inner rocker, and I'm going to double layer it. So essentially, say this is the good metal, I'll put in a piece of metal here, spot weld it behind and have it sticking out here, so that when I come in to butt weld, I'll butt weld and spot weld. and so that'll be immensely strong. And I'll obviously coat it with weld through primer, and then all of these sections will get coated with frame coating inside. So that's where we're at the moment. This rotisserie has been amazing. See, I'm doing all this work standing up, which is so worth it, doing the rotisserie. I'm very glad I ended up making that. Another thing, you can see all the nice clean metal here. I've been experimenting again with removing all this bitumen stuff. And it's basically a combination of heat. As I say, the burner, it's fine. It's not too bad as long as you don't go crazy, and just play it and heat it up, scrape the worst off, right? This is great for getting into all of the really tight corners, right, like that. But I tell you what's been amazing, let me show you this thing, this really aggressive twisted wire brush on a angle grinder. This thing makes short work of this, I tell you. This blows through it like you wouldn't believe. This whole section here I did in about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, got it down to that. So this is a great way of getting that old Mercedes underseal off, and they're pretty tough. You can see it's starting to bend a little bit. I've still got plenty of life in it. So that is that. So I'm doing this video really because it's been such a long time since I've got back into it, but I'm really having a lot of fun doing this, getting back into it again. Once you get in and you get the pace going, it's a lot of fun. So I'm not going to talk about this section just yet until I get there. I'm working here all the way along, getting the worst done first, and then obviously finally the floor pans will eventually go in. I've got all this area pretty much clean. There's a few little futsy things I've got to do over there, but I wanted to break the back of this really bad area. So what I was saying, the inner rocker section goes from a narrow section and it widens towards the back. We are tapering, this is approximate measure now obviously, but we're going to taper to the pinch weld, you know, where it folds this way on this section. We're going to be at around 2 7/8 to that bend at the front, and then all the way back here to where the extension piece is, it's 4 inches. So it goes from 2 7/8 and it tapers wider to around 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'll put this bend in first. It's handy to have these guys, these jacking points, because this shows my radius of this section here. So just get as close to that as possible, and so that will be our nice radius there. And then all we've got to do is work out where our bend is, and then this section here, what I'll do is I'll probably make a cut and fold it and then weld it. Yeah, so we'll be good to go on that. That'll be a pretty straightforward repair. This is, I've got to, this box section, this seat box section comes down and then tabs over and is spot welded into rocker. Obviously I've got to break those spot welds both sides so I can introduce my patch, spot weld back in, and may add some reinforcement and stuff, I don't know yet, but I'm going to reinforce the crapola out of this, so it's going to be really, really strong. I was even thinking of adding some more bracing in there in sections, just because this is a butt weld, this is not a full section. So I want to make sure this join, this will obviously be fine, but this join onto this inner section, because we're saving all up here, there's no point cutting into all this because you can't buy these inner rockers anyway, so you've got to make them. So, but that joint is going to be equally, if not stronger, than this extension joint. I'm going to make darn sure of that. So, as I say, I'm going to keep these videos a little shorter on the repair side and rely on questions coming through. I'm happy to answer any questions or take any advice. If you've got any little tips and tricks that you want to share, I'm all ears. As far as videos coming up, I do want to finish that buyer's guide on the 108. I want to talk about more the engine and drivetrain, so that is coming up. I haven't forgotten about that, and there's loads of other stuff I could talk about. But anyway, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more of these videos, and I will see you in the next one. Please hit like, share, subscribe, and have a good one. Take care. Bye bye.